Today I'm continuing my series for the newer cruiser. If you're a newer cruiser, welcome. I hope you enjoy discovering all the magic of cruising. In today's video, I want to talk about mistakes people make on debarkation day. This is your final morning. You wake up, you gather your things, and you exit the ship. Usually this is a straightforward process. However, there are some surprising mistakes people make, and it can really mess up your departure. You don't want your cruise to end on a sour note. So let's take a look at the top 10 mistakes people make regarding debarkation day, and let's make sure these don't happen to you. Some of these might surprise you. So let's get started. The first mistake is actually very common, and I've almost done this myself several times. And that is forgetting to check your safe before you leave the ship. Now, during the week while you're cruising, you may have put your passport in the safe, you may have put your phone in the safe, you may have put valuables in the safe. It is very easy when you're packing up and leaving the ship on that hectic last morning to forget to go to the safe and get your things out. You don't want to be off the ship in a taxi on the way to the airport and realize you left your passport behind. You might even want to put an alert on your phone before you even get on the cruise, reminding you to empty the safe. Have the alert go off around bedtime the night before you depart so that you don't leave the ship without all of your valuables. The second mistake new cruisers often make is scheduling a flight too early in the day. Now, just because your ship says that it docks at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., that doesn't mean you can be off the ship 5 minutes later. When a ship docks, when it returns to port, it has to clear inspection first. It has to clear a whole process. This process can take 30 minutes. Sometimes it can take 2 hours. You don't really know. So you can assume that you can get off ship fairly soon after you dock. But if there's any kind of snag and you're delayed and you have an early morning flight, that can be a problem. Don't count on being able to get off the ship very quickly after you dock. Count on there being some delays. Count on there being lots and lots of crowding. You absolutely won't be able to get an elevator on the first try. You can count on that. It may take you longer to get off the ship than you think. Remember, you have 2 to 3 to 5 or 6,000 people all getting off the ship within a few hours of each other. Everybody's using the elevator. Everybody's filling up the hallways. There is a crush to get off the ship. It won't be a straightforward walk-off in most cases. So, allow yourself plenty of extra time to get off the ship in the morning. Don't cut it down to the wire with your flight back home. Schedule a flight just a little bit later to give yourself some breathing room. On that same note, the next mistake some people make is they don't expect the crowds in the morning when they're leaving the ship, and they're surprised. They might get impatient. They might get really frustrated. So I'm here to tell you, if you're new to cruising, expect a madhouse on debarkation day. Now, it's not always this way. Sometimes it really is a smooth process to walk out of your room, grab an elevator, go down the stairs, walk off the ship fairly quickly. It does work out that way sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it is just a crush. And you will find yourself in long lines. You will find yourself standing and waiting, and it can be annoying if you're not expecting this. Don't start your travel home day in a bad mood. Pack your patience, adjust your expectations, and just expect there to be some crowding, some crush, and some lines. Okay, this one may surprise you, but I've seen it happen, and that is forgetting to leave clothes out for yourself to wear in the morning and having to exit the ship in your pajamas. If you're new to cruising, you may not know this, but when you get ready to leave the ship, you will be given the option of self-assist luggage or assisted luggage. If you're willing to drag all your bags off the ship yourself, you don't have to worry about this following information. But if you're going to want assistance with your bags, you're going to be asked to pack your bags, put special luggage tags on them that you will be given, and put those out in the hallway before midnight. During the night, staff will come, take all the suitcases away, take it down to the terminal in the morning, and they will arrange the luggage in different color groups according to the color of your luggage tag. This way, when you leave your room in the morning, you can go grab breakfast, walk off the ship. You're not dragging a bunch of big, heavy bags with you. When you go to the terminal, you will look for your bag in the color-coded group. Now, this is all great unless you forget to leave clothes out for yourself to wear in the morning, and this does happen. People pack their suitcases completely full, put them in the hallway, the suitcases get taken away during the night, and when they wake up in the morning, they realize they didn't leave themselves clothes to put on for debarkation day. People have had to leave the ship in their pajamas. Don't let this be you. Make sure you leave yourself clothes and shoes to wear in the morning. On that same note, one mistake some people make is they forget their luggage tag color. You've been assigned a luggage tag group, you've been assigned a luggage tag color. Make sure you remember that, because when you get up in the morning, your suitcases are gone, and when you get to the terminal, it makes things so much easier and faster if you know exactly which number to go to, which color group to go to. You will find hundreds of bags within that group, and you will be expected to dig through those bags and find your suitcase yourself. If you know the group you're in, it's going to shorten up the process considerably. If you go down to the terminal where there are literally thousands of suitcases waiting, and you don't know your group number, you don't know your luggage color tag, you are going to be in for a very long search. So, take note of your tag, take note of your group number. Your next mistake involves breakfast. Don't make this mistake. Some people think that they can order room service that final night and it will be delivered to their room in the morning while they're finishing up packing, and it's going to be great. In almost every case, room service is not available the day that a cruise ends and everybody's getting off the ship. Now, there are tons of other breakfast options, and they will all be made clear to you when you're on the cruise. Usually, there's some announcements on the stateroom TV the night before your cruise ends, explaining to you where breakfast is available and at what hours. Usually, the buffet is open, and there will be some other options as well. So you can definitely plan on having breakfast in the morning. It may be a bit chaotic, but breakfast will be available, just not room service. An extra important mistake to avoid is forgetting to check your bill before you leave the ship. Make sure there are no mistakes. Make sure you haven't been double billed for something or charged for something you don't remember buying. Every once in a while, mistakes happen. You might get billed for something you didn't order. You might get double charged for something. You might not get a refund you were supposed to get before you left the ship. It is 100% easier to deal face-to-face with guest services about these things while you're on the ship, rather than waiting until you get home and then calling the cruise line and asking them to help you sort out the charges and fix something. You can check your onboard expense account a couple of ways. First of all, you can use your app that's on the phone. You can also use your stateroom TV in most cases. There will be a button there for you to check your expense account, or you can just go down to guest services and ask them to go over it with you in person. Save yourself a headache. Check your onboard expense account the day before you leave the ship. Make sure everything on it is good, and if not, head down to guest services as early in the day as possible to get that taken care of. The next one is an easy mistake to make, especially if you're a newer cruiser. So maybe you've been given some robes in your closet to use the whole time you were cruising. That doesn't mean they're gifts from the ship. If you pack those robes up and take them home, you will get a bill. The same goes for towels, glasses, things like that laying around the cabin. For some people, they genuinely think these are gifts to take home, and it is an easy mistake. So you just need to know that the robes in your closet are not yours to keep unless you've been told otherwise. Towels, glasses, things like that, they all have to stay behind. If you do take them home, you will be charged. Another thing to keep in mind is that the shops will be closed the morning you exit the ship. If you have been wanting to buy a t-shirt, a hat, some souvenir from the shop, and you thought, well, I'll get it on the way out in the morning, that won't work out. The shops will definitely be closed when you exit the ship in the morning. So if you would like a souvenir from the shop, make sure you buy it at the latest the night before. The next mistake you want to avoid is not vacating your room on time. You will be told very plainly several times the absolute cutoff for when they want you to be out of your room. This might be 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It depends on the cruise line and the crowd. Even if you're planning on departing the ship as late as possible, you need to be out of your room when indicated. Your room steward has so much to do. They have to completely strip your room, clean the whole thing from top to bottom, put in new bedding, new everything, and just start fresh. They have to do this for all the rooms they take care of within a very short period of time. They need those rooms emptied so that they can get started. So if you're going to depart the ship late as they allow you, that's fine. But make sure you're out of your room when you're supposed to be. Go find a lounge, go find a corner, just sit and wait until you're ready to leave the ship at the last minute. That That wraps up today's video. I hope this was helpful to you. We've all made some of these mistakes ourselves at one point or another, so don't worry about it too much. But if you can, avoid these top 10 debarkation day mistakes. I hope you have a great time on your very first cruise or 2 or 3. I will be making more videos for the newer cruiser in the future, so stay tuned. Do you have a comment, tip, or suggestion for your fellow new cruiser? If so, please leave a comment. Thank you so much for stopping by and enjoy your next cruise. Bye-bye.